Hi guys, welcome back. Jabari here, and today we're going to tackle DHCP. Now, DHCP is known as Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, the keyword there being dynamic. So, this basically deals with setting up the IP addresses for your computer. So, in a couple videos, when we were adding clients to our domain in Server 2008, what happened was we had to statically input an IP address. Today, DHCP is going to be able to do that for us automatically. So once a computer joins the network, it's automatically going to be given an IP address so that it will be able to communicate on the network. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you can't wait for the window to open, or you press start. You go to Server Manager and you go to Add Roles. And you go to Add Roles. You're going to press Next. We are no strangers to installing software. You're going to look for DHCP Server. Select it and you're going to press Next. Pay close attention as to what it is happening here. Press Next. You see the server address. Make sure that's it. Make sure it says IP version 4. We will not be using any IP version 6 just for the sake of this tutorial. Select Next. And you're going to see the domain name and the IP address for the server. What you can do is you can press Validate. It says valid, and we move on to the next. Wins is not required for the sake of this tutorial because we don't have any Win servers here. But if you do have a Win server, of course, you put in the required information. You select Next. And DHCP scopes. This is very important to DHCP. There are two ways to do it. And fortunately, we're not going to be using the easy way, which is select the Add button and you fill out the fields. What we're going to do is we're going to come back to that later. Remember that scopes, very important. Like I said before, we have nothing to do with DHCP version 6. So we're going to press Disable and go on to the next. And server authorization. Okay, you see everything here. Make sure and use the current credentials because this is the administrative computer. Or if you have different credentials, what you could do is select use alternate credentials and move forward. So we're going to press Next and we're going to press Install. We're going to wait for this to install and we'll be back soon. And it's successfully installed. We're going to select Close and we see a new role has been added, the DHCP server. So what we're going to want to do, we're going to go to Start and we're going to go to Administrative Tools and we're going to select DHCP. We're going to see our server here. We're going to press the button and we're going to go to version 4. Remember, we said we have nothing to do with version 6 in this tutorial. So what we're going to want to do at this point is we're going to want to add a new scope. And a scope is basically a range where the DHCP server will be able to take IP addresses from. So the name we have for our scope could be anything. For the sake of the tutorial, we're going to name this clients. And the description could be handouts or handout. Select Next. And this is the range of IP addresses that this DHCP server will be able to allocate. So you type in the starting IP address and the ending IP address from the range you would like it to pick from. Select Next. And this is exclusion. So this is basically you don't want a user on your network to have the same IP address as your server because that's going to have some sort of problem when it comes time to renew. So what you're going to do is you're going to exclude, and the amount that you want to exclude is up to you, but we are going to exclude a simple number from the first IP address, .1, to the first 10. So 192.168.10.10, and you're going to select add. And of course, you're going to see excluded address range would be 10.1 to 10.10. Select next. And we're just going to change the release time for the sake of the video. So we're going to put it to a minute, 2 minutes, just to be safe, and select next. Yes, I would like to configure now. And from here, what you could do is you add the router address or your server address, and that is 192.168.10.1. You add this and you select next. And parent domain is the name of your domain. So in this case, it's jabari.com. And the server name will be the same thing, jabari.com. And you press resolve, and what will happen, it will import the IP address. You select add, and then next. We don't have any Win servers, as I stated earlier on. If you do, you fill out this section by typing the name and resolve, of course, and you press add, and it will get the IP address. Seeing as we don't have any, we press next. And yes, I want to activate the scope now, so we go to yes, and we see the scope right here. So what we could do now is assign a reservation. So we go to reservations here, you right click, you select new reservation, you type in the name, so we're just going to say Vista, and you select the IP address that you would like to reserve. So we're going to say 21. Here you would enter the MAC address of the computer you would like to save the IP address for. So what you could do is you go to your machine that you would like to reserve the address for, and you type ipconfig /all. And what you're going to search for is you're going to search for wireless adapter, not Ethernet, wireless. So what you would do is you would insert the MAC address into this area here, and upon completing that, you select add. And once you've done that, you go here, you go back to the client machine, and you type ipconfig /release, and then you type ipconfig /renew, and you see that it has released the IP address. And once you select renew, it's been designated an IP address. Now if you reserve this computer's MAC address, it would be given that specific IP address that you reserved for it. But you have to remember that you're looking for wireless adapter, not the Ethernet. You get the MAC address or physical address, and it will give you the designated IP address. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you guys soon. Next video will be DNS.